bit of music tonight over the sound system. You recognize that? You know what song that is? Who knows what song that is? What is it? Canon in D, Pachelbel's Canon. Where do you hear that song? Weddings. You want to know what keeps Dad going? Your day. You want to know what keeps Mom going? Brother Graham, there's no greater day in a preacher's ministry than to stand at an altar with one or two of his young people and see them repeat vows to their spouse. Right. You know what keeps your youth director going? He sees your day.
Yep.
Hey, it's coming. And by the way, it may not come in the time that you think it should come in. Right. But you just be patient. Right. It'll come. 4 girls and 2 boys. It doesn't matter whether it was the girls or the boys. Man, what days those were. Yep, sir. I can picture it in my mind. I can see on that day, as you're already at the church, you've had the rehearsal supper the night before, and now it's wedding day, and you ladies will be in the bridal room getting all dressed up and made up and haired up. You fellows will be out goofing around. Cars will start pulling in the parking lot. Your family members will start getting out of their car. Your grandparents possibly, your cousins, your aunts and uncles. Carrying cards with little gift cards in there, maybe cash money. Maybe a gift. You know what they've all got on their faces? They all got a smile. Right. Why they got a smile? It's your day. Yeah. It's your wedding day. They'll come in and they'll put the presents or the gifts on the table there, and they'll stand around and fellowship a little bit, and the auditorium will be decorated. I'm not sure what it looks like here at Victory Baptist Church, but maybe a pillar here with some, and they'll look around and all those decorations, and they'll say, man, it's beautiful. Isn't this wonderful? It's your day. The wedding coordinator comes and knocks on the door and says, okay, it's time to line up, and everybody gets in place. The bridal party that you've chosen, your siblings, your family, your friends maybe, and they start coming down the aisle and taking their place on the platform. Here comes the ring bearer and the flower girl. Flower girl, she's all excited, throwing rose petals. The ring bearer looks like, good grief, what am I doing here? They come down and find their place. And you girls are standing out there with your dad, the one that asked you 1,000 questions, right. The one who said, who's going to be there? Where are you going? How long are you staying? What are you doing? The one that made you go change your dress? You know why he did it? He saw your day. Yep. He didn't want you giving your heart to 5 or 6 different boys. Yes, sir. He didn't want you giving yourself away before this day. Your arm and his arm and that girl down the aisle. Somewhere, man, and you'll stand, and out here will be your parents and your grandparents and friends, and you'll look out in the auditorium, and there's my youth director. Maybe your youth director is even standing up on the platform with you as one of your stand-ups on this platform. And you look out, and here's your Sunday school teacher that you had in 3rd grade, and here's your Sunday school teacher that you had in 8th grade, and here's your Sunday school teacher that you had when you was in 11th grade, and all these people are here. All of them are smiling. Why are they smiling? I'll tell you why they're smiling. It's your day. They saw it. They saw it. They saw it by faith. And it's what kept them going. It's what kept them serving. It's what kept them praying. It's what kept them preparing. It's what kept them working with you and sitting on you and keeping you within, hedging you in on the right road. It's because they saw the invisible you. They saw it.
That's right.
Some things will take place during the ceremony. Your pastor will have you repeat some vows to each other, and you'll say those vows to each other, and he'll pray and say, now you can kiss your bride. Maybe you'll light the unity candle. And there you go. Mr. and Mrs. on your day. Sing the invisible you. Would you listen to me tonight? Would you hear me for a minute? We're not against you.
That's right. That's right.
Come on. We preach hard.
Yep.
We have standards, we have rules, we have regulations, we have policy. It's all made for your benefit, kids. It's all for your good. Some of us have lived long enough to see these days with our own kids.
You're right. You're right.
I'm marrying kids now whose parents I married. I know you have too. They had enough sense to listen. They had enough sense, please, just for a minute, please. Can I say this? Listen to me, those of you in the seat, even at the altar. We see you now. We see the invisible you. Everything we do now is to help the visible you become the invisible you. Time is going fast. Will you help us? Will you help us? Will you quit fighting your dad? You ought to go home tomorrow and hug your moms. You ought to go home Sunday. Instead of sitting on the back row at the Sunday school class, sit on the front row. Have your Bible ready when your Sunday school teacher comes in and he goes, sit on the front row. Get around the pastor. Jonathan, where's your wife? Is she with you? Is she praying with somebody? Would you come up here? Here's a young man. His dad saw the invisible him. Full wife. You ask him if he regrets it tonight. Ask him if he regrets it. I'll tell you what needs to happen tonight. What needs to happen tonight is that some of you guys need to take your white flag and you need to surrender. And you just say, you know what, Dad? You know what, Mom? You know what, Pastor? You know what, Youth Director? You know what, Sunday school teacher? If you see more than the visible me, if you see the invisible me, I'm going to quit fighting you. I'm going to quit making it hard on you. I want to work with you to make the visible me the invisible, the one that you see. Our heads are bowed and eyes are closed. I don't really know what to do, but I think they're pastors maybe. If you're the representative from your group, could we have you come tonight and just stand down here, those of you that are in leadership? And if you're a pastor and your youth man is here, that's fine. But I wonder tonight if we should have you stop by your pastor. And would you shake his hand, or you ladies go to the pastor's wife or the youth director's wife and shake their hand and say, thank you for seeing the invisible me. Would you please pray with me that I will help all these who love me, all these help me become what I know they see. You ought to promise to work with them when you get home. And if there's any kind of division or something going on between you and them, it ought to be all laid at the altar tonight and left there. Our Father in heaven, I don't know exactly what to do. I just pray that you'll please help the invitation. You know the work that needs to be done. Lord, there's a lot of beautiful, beautiful pictures here in the future for these young people, and I pray that you'll help them, please, to be realized. In Jesus' name. Heads are bowed, eyes are closed. If you need to be saved, now's the time to come get saved. As they play a song of invitation, even if you're praying at the altar, if you're in your pew, why don't you find your leader tonight and spend a little time with your leader, praying and asking him, her. Would you come? Would you come join these that are already here? And those of you that are praying, would you find your pastor? Would you find your youth director? Would you take a little time with them tonight?
When your Spirit speaks to me, with my whole heart I'll agree, and my answer will be yes.
Would you come?
Lord, yes. I'll say yes, Lord, yes, to your will and to your way. I'll say yes, Lord. I will trust you and obey. When your Spirit speaks to me, with my whole heart I'll agree, and my answer, I'll say yes, Lord, yes, to your will and to your way. I'll say yes, Lord, yes, I will trust you and obey. When your Spirit speaks to me, with my whole yes, Lord, yes.
God, speak in your heart.
I'll say yes, Lord, yes, to your
Will and trust you and obey.
When your
Spirit speaks to me,
with
Lord, yes.
to your will, trust you
You may need to give your heart to Christ tonight. It'd be a good night to get saved, young people.
speaks to me.
Yes, Lord, yes. Will and to your way, I'll say yes.
When your
Spirit speaks to me,
with my
whole heart I'll agree.
and my
Answer will be yes. You see that picture? The invisible you? If you get a glimpse of it every once in a while, when the devil tries to cause you to make wrong choices or go wrong directions, you just get back on focus to getting to that soon to be the you God. Yes, Lord, yes. Trust you and obey will be yes.
and to your
Yes,
I will trust
yes, Lord, yes.
to your
Will and to
I will
trust you and obey.
when your
Spirit speaks to me,
with my
whole heart I'll agree.
and my
Answer will be yes, Lord, yes.
I'll say yes,
Lord,
yes. I will trust with my whole
yes, Lord, yes.
I'll say
Yes, Lord, yes.
to your will
And to your way and obey. Lord, I'll agree.
and my answer will be
Yes, Lord, yes. With my whole heart I'll agree. Will be yes, Lord, yes. God, speak in your heart. There's still time to come. And my answer will be yes, Lord, yes. God, speak in your heart. You just mind the Lord. And to your way I'll say yes, Lord, yes. Trust you and obey. I'll agree. Answer will be yes, Lord, yes. Yes, Lord, yes. Answer will be yes, Lord, yes. Spirit speaks to me. Oh, answer will be yes, Lord, yes. Yes, Lord, yes. I'll agree, and my answer will be yes, Lord, yes. And to all the parents and grandparents and the adults and the young people that came out Friday night last week for prayer meeting for this conference, you're seeing the fruit of that prayer. The power of God has fallen in a great way tonight. People are just taking the message to heart. And I hope someday, Brother Angel, to hear that message again in its completion. But what God intended for you to be. I don't know about you, but I want to fulfill in my life everything God intended for me to do with my life for His honor and glory. Tremendous preaching this week. I'll tell you, God has blessed every message, every messenger has been such a help. And I know that there'll be some that'll leave here and they'll say, I don't get it. We don't want your life to end tragically, and we don't want your life to end with a lot of junk in it and baggage that's unnecessary, because we see the invisible you. We see what's down the road if you'll just stay true. And you can. If you're not saved tonight, get that settled. Don't miss what God has for you tonight. Young man, young lady, some of you are grieving your parents' heart right now by your rebellion. And you think, oh, they hate me. No, they don't hate you. They've got hope for you. They've got expectation for you. They want to see you mind the Lord. And be obedient right now. Trust your mind in the Lord right now. Some are still praying. If you need to come, the altar's open.